I think the first thing that you should do is, if you have customers, talk to your customers and find out exactly what they're doing, how they're feeling, what their take is on things. Start to listen to your customers, start to listen to your team members, book calls, and just start listening. I think that's a really important thing. The second thing is you have to think about, okay, well now, this is a cash flow issue, right? So what costs can you cut, and how can you now change your revenue streams? I am a professional speaker and trainer, but I'm also a coach. And I've been speaking all around the world for about 15 years, mostly around motivation and leadership, but talking about various topics like authentic relationship building, networking, talking about personal branding, investing in yourself, finding alignment, talking about social media, digital influence, and then also talking a bit about thought leadership. And these are things that I think are very important to me in terms of helping companies and organizations build better cultures, helping professionals find more alignment on their career path or their entrepreneurial path. I think it's been pretty hard. The first month was difficult because the kids were home and we were trying to scramble around to give them things to do, and they interrupt a lot and they ask lots of questions. My kids are at the time were 9-11 when it started, so we tried to find ways to get out more and get into nature and take hikes, but it was really difficult to to do it. And also because we were home, there was actually a lot more work to do. Like there was more dishes, there was more cooking, there was more cleaning because everyone was home. And so I think it was a hard transition. I normally work about 50 hours a week, and during COVID I could only muster 25 hours a week. And so I was scrambling, and so I realized after 27 days in a row I had no break, and so I was getting burnt out. So I took 4 days off, just completely offline, didn't do anything, and just hung with the family. We played board games, we watched movies, we went for walks, and I realized, wow, this is really important. We have to keep doing this kind of stuff. Most of my work is speaking at companies, speaking at live events. And so speaking events and live events were completely devastated by this thing. So everything kind of shut down and everything was canceled. So I think that was, and it didn't hit me in the beginning because I was so busy with the kids. But then after about a month, I was like, wow, okay, this is really devastating. Both my two businesses, because my speaking business and then I have an event business, and both of them were kind of hit hard by this. So we had to figure out what to do. One of the first things was to cut costs across the board in terms of any sort of expenditures I was doing. That's the first thing. The second thing was then to pivot. And the first thing I tried pivoting was to say, okay, let me just take everything we're doing and just make it virtual. And what I found was after about a month or two that it wasn't working very well, because even though virtual is helpful, a lot of companies were not willing to pay for speakers virtually. A lot of them were not willing to pay for training or live events because they were cutting budgets everywhere too. And between March to about June, I had about 200 calls. And I was just listening and learning. That's all I was doing. And what I found is that a lot of individuals were home, working from home, and they were struggling to engage their team. They're thinking about their work-life balance. They're thinking about how do I storytell better? How do I engage better? Maybe I should ramp up my LinkedIn profile. How do I work on my brand? And so I started realizing that, people are thinking about their personal brands. They're thinking about their careers. They're thinking about their online presence. So let me work on that. I think the first thing you should do is, if you have customers, talk to your customers and find out exactly what they're doing, how they're feeling, and what their take is on things. Start to listen to your customers, start to listen to your team members, book calls, and just start listening. I think that's a really important thing. The second thing is you have to think about, okay, well now, this is a cash flow issue, right? So what costs can you cut, and how can you now change your revenue streams? Because some revenue streams aren't working. I can't land a live in-person speaking gig, so let me focus to virtual. I can't do a live event, so let's change to virtual. So you have to think about where's the opportunity for you as a business to try to pivot and generate some interest and revenue around what you're trying to do. I think those are probably the two biggest things you can start doing. And then after that, I think the third thing I would say is reach out to people, have conversations, talk to people, have community. I think that's critically important. And that's one of the things I've been doing is I've been booking a weekly call with some of my closest friends every Thursday, and we just basically talk about issues of the day, and we just get some clarity on what we're feeling. And I think that's really helpful. Thank you, viewers, for watching Entrepreneurial Spirit by Designhill. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and my handle is at Rehan Bobby. You can also check my website, dypb.ca, for discovery of personal brand, or rayhan.com for my speaking, coaching, and storytelling.